All right. Well, what kind of trouble did I get myself into this week? This is I want to say it's a 48 Pontiac. Belongs to a buddy of mine. Luckily for me, he doesn't want the whole car painted, but he does want a metal flake top with, graphics and candies and whatever I can come up with. So I'm going to start this one today and see how far along I get. This ought to be a fun one for you guys to watch. All right. So the first step was to determine where the flake's going to be, as outlined by this yellow tape. Okay. So I marked off where I'm going to put the flake. I sanded everything with a 400 DA and went around the edges with the Scotch-Brite. So now I'm going to bag the car, base it out in silver, and then I'll throw some flake on it. But that's where I'm at now. So let me bag this thing up and I'll be right back. All right. So now the silver base coat has been applied and I'm getting ready to spray the metal flake. I've already shot a little bit of it, only to test out my gun. Let's see. You can kind of probably see it there, but that's like so minimal. I just shot it real quick to make sure the fan was looking good. It's obvious because all the flake is on the ground already and all over. And what I did is I took that House of Color flake, this one, and this one, and I used this full base. People call it binder, they call it intercoat clear. This is actually a binder. This is actually, when you buy base coat, this is what your paint is made up, minus the color. So it's pretty much clear. I use it as a binder for the flake. And that's why I'm going to be doing it today. Now, the gun I use is an old DeValvis JGA 502. It's a gun I've been using for almost 40 years, I think, maybe longer. But it's basically just my flake gun. And I mix it up. I mix it up in the cup. I put a nut or a bolt in there so I can use it as an agitator. You can kind of hear it shaking around in there, sort of like a spray can. Always remember to tie a rag around it because that little breather's going to leak and you don't want it to leak in the middle of your roof. So, okay, so I'm going to spray the flake on it and then I'll be right back. All right. So that is like 3 coats or 3 times I went around with that mixture of those 2 size flakes. I don't know if you can really see it in the video, but it's really flaky. It's going to cause me a lot of freaking clearing time now. But it's going to look cool, and that's what's really important. This flake gets everywhere. It's all over the car. It was all over the floor on both sides of the car, but I swept it up already. So now I'm going to put 3-4 coats of urethane clear over everything, and then tomorrow I'll come in and I'll sand it with probably 800 wet, maybe 600, and then I'm going to clear it again. And then after that, I'll sand it again and then I'll start laying out the tape. That is if I don't have to clear it a third time, but we'll see. But anyways, let me get some clear on it, and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are the day after I flaked it and put 3.5 coats of urethane clear on top. Now I've come back in today after it sat overnight to dry, and I sanded it down with 400, and then I sanded it with 600 after that. Wiped it all down with a pre-cleaner, tack ragged it, and now I'm getting ready to put 2.5 coats of clear back on top. And I'll let that dry till tomorrow, and then I'll come back and I'll sand it. And that should give me a nice flat surface to lay my tape and panels and graphics and whatever I decide to put on there. I know he wants lace, so I'm going to end up putting lace on this thing. But I need a somewhat not so bumpy surface to do all this. This is why I'm clearing, sanding, and then re-clearing again. And then I'll sand one more time. So yeah, let me get the clear on top of this and I'll be right back. Well, I just realized that I forgot to shoot a video of the first clear, but you didn't really miss anything. All I did was I put 3 coats or so of urethane clear on it, and then came back in today, resanded it, and then re-cleared it again right now. And this is 2.5 coats of urethane clear. And what I'll do now is I'll come back in tomorrow, sand the whole top, get it as flat as I can get it, and I'll tear all this paper off or plastic bag, and I'll change out the bag on it because this has flake all over it. But that's where we're at now. So now the hard part is over and the fun will begin. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow when I come back and start that process. This is it with a flashlight hitting it, just to give you an idea of what it looks like now. And like I said, tomorrow this all gets sanded again. Then we'll start taping on it. All right, cool. All right, well, it's the next day. The clear's all nice and dry. And I'm going to sand everything with 800 wet. I unmasked it and rebagged it and retaped it. So I should just be able to put the colors on next and re-clear it, and it should be good. I may put the colors on, re-clear it, sand it down, and then clear it one last time. And if the paper looks kind of funky by that time, I'll go ahead and redo it again. Just so I have a nice edge around my roof and I don't have anything flying off the paper. And precaution, 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 I guess. You always want to take your time. Don't rush it. If it needs to be retaped, retape it. If it needs to be resanded, resand it. Because it's all going to show in the final product. And the last thing you want to do is have to redo something when you didn't have to. All right, well, let me sand this thing and I'll be right back. Okay, well, so I've got the roof all sanded down, Got it as flat as I can get it. It's pretty flat. The next step is going to be the center line of the roof. And then I'll measure from the center line out this way. And then again, I'll keep measuring until I get all my panels on there. And then I'll come back here and measure from this side out. That way they match as close as I can get them. But this is the start of it. Center line's very important. Find your center line, and you're home free. Because the last thing you want to do is lay all this out, paint it, and it's crooked. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to start laying something out. I got no idea where I'm going yet. I just know a few of the colors that he requested, and everything else is up to me. So I'm going to start laying this out, and I'll be back.